The Academy of Logic and Light is a peer-to-peer educational platform that allows students and teachers a safe space to practice spirituality without indoctrination. We recognize sovereignty and recognize the right to choose how you worship, who you worship, or if you do not worship, and that it is a personal experience. Please take the information today that resonates and leave what doesn't.
Hello, everyone. My name is Stefanie Joseph, and I am the newest member partner in the Academy of Logic and Light. On today's episode, I wanted to come on here and share a little bit more about the Academy's Human Design Profile and Gene Keys Profile. A little bit about me. I am a soulful intuitive coach. I am a Gene Keys guide, human design enthusiast, and I support people in remembering who they are, remembering who they be. And I have multiple tools that I use to do that. One of my favorite ones is the Gene Keys, which has allowed me personally to give me permission to be myself. I believe that we are all pieces in the collective whole. We are all one with the whole, but there is innate gifts and offerings that we bring through our experiences, through our own, just that innate remembrance of who we are. And that, the Gene Keys in Human Design has given me that tool to remember and to remind myself who I am and the love that I bring. And I also, in my work, whether I'm working with somebody on a life coaching and individual coaching, or if I'm working with somebody in their business as they are aligning and connecting with their business, I like to bring in the profiles for the business itself. We have our own unique gifts that we bring in, and then we have the energetics of the business. And so I thought it would be really fun to do a little reading on the Academy. And we're using the conception date of when Julie put out a call to the TikTok world, talking about community and, is it possible to create this space that can support the community that is different than anything we've seen? I wasn't a part of the Academy at that time, and it actually took me until just recently to have our paths cross, which is beautiful. And we did do an episode on that as well. But just as a reminder, the Academy of Logic and Light is a peer-to-peer education platform that empowers people and gives them a curious space to practice spirituality without indoctrination. This is a place where you can explore any esoteric topics from people who have had the knowledge passed down from their lineage or have mastered their subjects through their own investigation and life experiences. As we continue to grow the Academy, we see this as a place, a connection between all the other communities that are out there, the metaphysical shops that are out there. And we also want to bring in practitioners that see this bigger vision of a collective community support. So, we're a grassroots project. I even just felt that, we're building this community to support you. We're building this community to support all of us in these changing times. And, we want to do things very, very differently. For us, it's all about collaboration, no competition. Competition doesn't exist because you are unique. You can only bring who you be. You can only bring your gifts. And that for me is why I do look at human design and gene keys, which they come from the same wisdom. I'm not going to get into that. You can go follow me to learn more about, the origins of it. So without further ado, I'm going to share the Academy's vision based off of her design. And my intention for doing this is to allow you to see the bigger vision of what the Academy brings for all of us. I have set the intention that as I read this, I am literally just doing it from her spirit, her energy. I've asked her to come in to this space with me. I've asked her to support me in sharing her vision, her message through her design and her profile, and to remove any of my own biases and, my own. So I'm going to just share it from that space. So I'm going to share my profile, or I'm going to share my screen so that for those that are watching on YouTube, you get to see twofold. You get to see her own design. So if you're a human design enthusiast, practitioner, you're in the Gene Keys world, you get to bring your own flavor to it because I'm bringing my own flavor to it. And it's just kind of fun. And then you also get to see a little bit about what I do for my clients and what I'm envision on bringing into the space as well, as a partner in building this amazing community. So the first thing that I always look at when I'm looking at somebody's profile is their human design. I am self-led and self-trained on human design. I don't claim to be a human design expert. Human design is what led me into the Gene Keys world. And the Gene Keys world is where I have flourished and have loved to grow. And yeah, that's for a whole nother topic. But when I'm looking at the Academy's human design chart, so Julie sent the call out June 27th, 2022. And in that space, that is the birth of this idea, right? The birth of this vision of creating this peer-to-peer community space. Our sweet Academy is a beautiful manifestor. And manifestors are here to inform and show the way, right? Which is such a beautiful thing when we were looking at it from a collaborative space, because here she is, just shows up in all of her bright and shiny armor, right? She just shows up and she's like, okay, my little generator friends, here's what we're going to do. And quite ironically, or not so ironically, myself, Julie, and Kat are all generator types. So it's super fun that here we have this manifestor energy that comes in. And if you know anything about human design, you know that manifestors can have a prickly energy. And I'm not saying that in a negative way. They have oh my gosh, it just slipped me. They have it's okay. It's okay. The words are not coming to me. When they walk into the room, they own it, right? They own it. And, sometimes it can feel prickly in that if you're not like in your own higher energy, highest energy, that it's like, whoa, stop telling me what to do. But the thing that I want to bring into the space is that's what a manifestor is. They're here to inform us. They see things very differently. They see things beyond what we can see things. And they, like, manifestors want us, here's the vision, friends. And as a generator, you get to decide through your sacral authority, your emotional authority, if you're willing to take on the task. The manifestor's job is to inform us of, here's this big vision. So I'll get into her big vision through her Gene Keys profile, but I wanted to bring that space in. Another really cool part about her design, in my opinion, is that she's an emotional authority. So she leads, she informs us, and then she brings the emotions to the vision. She brings like the impact with that emotional field. So we're able to all tap into those emotions of hers. Now the piece, and no, I'm not going to get into those because I'm like, I can get into the weeds here. So I'm going to talk about her profile here in a second. And I think that's all that I wanted to bring in from the energetics of her human design. I may come back or I may not, who knows. So on her Gene Keys profile, let me see if I can blow this up a little bit more for you all. No, oh yeah, too much. Okay, hold on. Wow. Tech stuff is always fun, right? Okay. Please hold. Okay. Now here's where I geek out about purpose, vision, mission, all these things. And again, bringing in the energy of the Academy and what she wants me to share. She's a 3-5 profile. What that means for me is on the head side, she's here to have experiences, right? The human side of her is to have these experiences, to gather with people, to try some things, to maybe see if they work or they don't work, right? But on the soul side of her, this energy of this line 5, she is here to be this soulful leader, to be the voice of change, to make an impact because of the experiences. So we as a collective, as we gather into her space, we all come from different walks of life. We all come from different experiences. We maybe left a high demand religion, or maybe we didn't have any sort of structures or constructs growing up, and you're dismantling, not having those structures. Wherever you come from, you come and bring your experiences into the space. And she, as that manifestor, that beautiful manifestor energy, brings that soul leadership out for all of us to show us what's possible, to share the experiences. This is why our ethics, her ethics part of the academy is so important, because again, we all come from these different walks of lives and different experiences, and we need to have guiding posts along the way, right? And it is we ask all of our practitioners to go through ethics, and those ethics are built by the community. Like I'm new to the academy, but the vision of this space is not new to me. I've seen this in meditations and dreams since 2015. And to now have it be birthed, and to have the foundation that those that created the academy put into place, it just warms my heart. And now we have her being this guiding light, right? Her sharing her experiences. The life's work, this part of her profile is all about how the flavor of what she does. And we rest in the stillness. The part that we learn. So in the Gene Keys world, we have 3 different energy frequencies. For those that are new to the space, we have a shadow frequency, we have a gift frequency, and then we also have our siddhi, which is the highest essence of love. And within all of the shadows emerges the gift. And I also get curious about what are the gifts of our shadows, right? What gift does stress tell us? And from the academy's perspective, is she has this natural gift of restraining where to engage in the stress. Just felt that in my spine. Where to engage in, she knows where stillness can support, and where also activation can happen, right? That's that stress, that noise. And stress teaches us that we have ourselves spread way too thin. So she has this natural gift that she can restrain herself from doing that. And then also, us little generator types that are supporting her and bringing this vision to life, we get to remember that she's also gonna have a lot of things, a lot of moving pieces. We were on our board call this morning, and we're like, okay, this, okay, wait. How do we bring this into the now, right? What can we do right now? What is the first step? And again, as that manifestor, she's that guiding force for all of us. And I can't express it enough that if you are in a business that is soulful, purpose driven, I invite you to bring the design. You don't even have to know anything about human design or Gene Keys, but bring the energy of that mission and vision into your work, so that you're not making all of the decisions yourself, that you get to have the energy of her, to him or her, it, to support you, right? Even if you don't know anything about this, use your own tools and your own gifts. Sit in meditation with her, ask her to join you, just as I'm feeling right now. She's like, okay, Steph, I'm here, what do you want? So that is a piece of her. Another piece that I'm going to kind of just jump around, because there's a lot of things that I could be talking about, but I want to have this digestible. Another piece about the academy is she's grounded in this beautiful purpose of integrity. Again, we're going to be talking more about the ethics side of this collaboration, what we are bringing, and that you get to be a part of this ethics, because we're all failing forward. We're all learning. None of us were taught to have a spiritual awakening. None of us were taught to you're going to have this roadmap of your soul of when you decide that, wait a minute, I've been sleeping my whole life, right? We don't have this roadmap. And so what the academy brings for us is this beautiful gift of integrity. And there can be judgment in that. So that shadow of integrity is this judgment of ourselves, judgment of others. There may be some potential judgment in how we as these little humans are bringing this vision to life, right? But if we can rest in the stillness and in the integrity, and that we are all perfect beings, that we are, feel that emotion, that we are all perfect and whole as we are, the judgments gets to just be what they are. that we get to get curious and get in integrity with ourselves of why we're having these experiences or why we're having these judgments, right? And we're human, right? We are human here having this experience. And the academy, the vision of the academy is to bring the humans together, right? To unite in community. Another couple points that I would bring in for the academy is that she's all about this revolution and rebirth. We've talked in boardrooms that like the academy is this silent revolution. We see business and do business differently in this space. Collaboration is huge. Like I remember talking to a business coach about this years because I had this vision of this community space and she goes, it's not possible. Who's going to make the money? And I was like, wait, what? That's not what I'm talking about. The academy brings that essence in as well. She brings this gift of revolution and rebirth and shifting the times and shifting the energies of, you know, this collective space. And you are all a part of it. You are all invited into this space, into this vision of hers. We, each of us that, you know, are stewarding in the academy have our own lives, have our own businesses, have our own ways of transmuting and doing our own things, right? You get to bring your energy into the space as well, and we get to be a part of the silent revolution with each of us. We get to shift the energetics of money. We get to shift the energetics of community. We get to shift the energetics and get like one thing. No, okay, that's getting into my own. I'm keeping this to academy. She reminded me like, nope, we're here for this. We're here for this. So, another piece that's really fun for her is that she brings in celebration. She cheers you on when you are making the strides, when you're doing the work, when you're healing, when you're in that space of excitement. She brings that celebration to you. Another thing that I see is a common theme. If you look through her profile, she has these, so we have 64 archetypes in the Gene Keys and Human Design world, and then we have a line, and the lines are 1 through 6, and those lines flavor the archetype. So she has a line 4 in a few different spaces in her profile, and this sequence right here, this blue that you're looking at, is the Pearl sequence. It's all about prosperity. Line 4s, the energy is very heart-centered. It's about networking and taking my experiences and sharing them with my community, sharing them with my space. You see here this belonging, kinship, and community. I mean, hello, that's what she's creating, like this community. Can't make this shit up, friends. And she also has this pearl. So as we each in our own individual journeys get into alignment and remembrance of ourselves, we naturally get connected to prosperity and the flow of abundance. I'm talking abundance of friendships, abundance of money, abundance of community, abundance of land, abundance of the earth space. Like we get to get in alignment with that. And all for her, I'm going to just read this because I'll just share it from my other screen. For her, it's all about charity, which is such a cool thing because we've talked about in the academy, like we want to, like we have so many free offerings, we have so many community spaces or, you know, low cost offerings, and regardless of your financial means, you are welcome. You are welcome. And so, you know, we're going to have different opportunities where people can, you know, give back to the community, scholarships and different things like that. That's her vision. The 4th line loves to share its money with others in the form of charity. I mean, hello, right here we have academy. That's no competition, collaboration. How do we all grow together? How do we really create community? How do we, you know, like build this space that not like, again, no instruction manual for community. I believe we've been stripped from really understanding what deep community is, but our souls at this deep level of our souls, we know we want to be in community, but we're learning. A lot of us are learning. I'm learning. Charity is very specific funneling of the life force for the sake of helping others. Your greatest joy, the academy's greatest joy, is touch the hearts and lives of others. You tend to bring together people, bring together those in need. Not always about money, more about service. And there are infinite ways to serving others in life. And so she brings us all together to be of service. Service projects are down the line, right? Like community gardens, harvesting of these community gardens, like all of this is part of the vision. And she sees this farsightedness, she sees beyond possibly what I see, beyond what you see. And she sees this community space that we all get to gather and be. She also honors that we're rough around the edges. The Gene Key 22 is all about having grace for humanity. If you go to genekeys.com/grace, you'll get this beautiful invocation, this beautiful meditation around grace. And it talks about like that as humans, we're rough around the edges, right? And if we can have graciousness for this experience, then, we kind of like let the judgments fall away, right? And so here the Academy is bringing in this culture, this container of grace for you that, as you come to an event and you may be new to the energy healing space or new to spirituality or new, you're like deconditioning and you're deconstructing, that you get to give yourself grace in this process as well. Like, how beautiful offering that she's giving all of us. And then she has this gift of empathy and discernment that she knows that we're all these rough, edgy humans, right? And that if we really take a pause and tap into our inner truths, we can discern what is correct and right for us. If we can tap into our own inner truths, we get to discern and find what is correct for us. There may be something that somebody puts out there in our community space that you're just like, ooh, I don't know that I like that. That's okay. You have your own individual discernment. And we have all of these gifts. I want to remind you, like, as I'm looking at her profile, I have an individual hologenetic profile myself, but guess what? We're all of these things as well. These are just like the lights that are blinging in our awareness. And these are, like, again, speaking for her, these are the gifts that she brings. And I guess the final piece that I want to talk on that is that, as we come together in community and as she's holding this container of graciousness for each one of us, may we each have graciousness for each other. May we learn to network and belong and have that kinship with each other and to know that we're all going to mess up. We're all learning through this. We're all failing forward through this. And there's no finish line to awakening. There's no finish line to individual remembrance. Like, there's no finish line to healing. There's just is. It just is. And so it is, right? And so as you come into this space, and if this mission and this vision lights you up, we invite you to come in and support us in growing this, making the connection, bringing in your gifts. The Academy herself wants to have courses and classes and workshops and free events and education on moon cycles and astrology, multiple astrology people in that space, because guess what? Astrology isn't cut and dry. It's not black and white. There's lots of gray in the middle of it. And she brings that farsightedness. She sees that. She understands that there can be an opinion, that my way is right and that your way is wrong. And she brings that farsightedness. And so we just get to be aware of when we do have opinions in the space. I mean, I guess I'll wrap it up by just sitting in her energy. And as you hear me speak about her and this vision, may you take the pieces that resonate, leave the rest, and also embrace that you are a part. Big, small, everything in between, you are a part of this big vision, this big revolution, this silent revolution, shifting the tides of disparity and of so much I could speak on, but I'm keeping me separate from her. Just, if I can say anything from her profile and from the energetics of the Academy, is we can't do this alone. she can't do it alone. Kat and Julie and myself and Megan and all of these other people that I'm just getting to know, Danny, like all of these people I'm getting to know in this space, we can't do it alone. We get to do it together. And if you see this vision, if you resonate with this vision, if what I'm sharing through her speaks to you, you're in the right place. For now, you're in the correct place. Because guess what? You always will have soul autonomy. You always have sovereignty. You will always get to make decisions based off of what supports you. And you get to decide what this looks like for you. But if this message is speaking to you, it's for you. Like I shared in our last podcast, it was a common theme between a few of us that were like, oh my gosh, like, okay, can we just let this thing rest? But Spirit is speaking through us. The Academy is speaking through each of us. And even like as I just channel and sit with her energies, I can't deny this beautiful manifestor that is showing us and informing us of the way. And I can't wait to like experience like a projector magic in the space. I'm sure there's many projectors in the space that I'm have not met yet. Projectors are the guides, right? And just bringing in spirit and all the energies of our loved ones. I talk a lot about grief in my work, and I believe without a doubt that our guides and our angels that have passed, our loved ones that have passed, are also helping us steward in this bigger vision of what is possible. You know it, I know it, she knows it. So let's just create and build and grow and love together. All right, thanks for listening in. And if you have any questions about what I've shared, please feel free to reach out to us. And I just appreciate being able to be in this space with all of you.